I only did meth
Yes.
once. I did meth once with a friend, and this is years and years ago. I'd heard about how horrible it was. I did it once. I remember saying, "This is what God feels like." And then, like, just this burst of just profound confidence and certainty and just about everything. When the sun comes up, I feel like I've had the best night's sleep of my fucking life. I was so wide awake. Went home, organized my house, it's like just feeling so good. And then I just I crashed, insta crash, and I had this headache that lasted for a couple days, and I won't touch the shit now, but wow, you probably were awake for a while after that
I was
giant
awake for
rip.
the rest of the run. A lot of it's a blur at this point. I think I might have gotten more while I was out. But as soon as I did it, I like that you did all of that. You had that experience, and then you were like, I had that experience. I had that experience and was like, I must do this every day for the rest of my life.
No, I know that I had that with ketamine. I got addicted to ketamine for a while, but it's I think maybe it's a different kind of. I just got lucky with meth. I mean, thank God for whatever reason, it felt like someone had put a rusty saw blade in my brain. Thank God I crashed so hard, and thank God I was suicidally depressed instantly after I came down. Or God, I don't know what would have. I mean, that's the problem with these things. You never know. Anytime you decide to do one of these popular drug lineages, you really are rolling the dice, and it's the strangest gamble you could ever make,
Yeah. I think at the time where I was in my life up until that point was I was looking for magic. And meth at
Yeah.
that point was the closest I had got. That's why I was a Christian for 5 years. When I was little, I don't know. Before they tell you that Santa's not real, I just knew that reality was magic. I guess probably the way that all kids do, but I knew that reality was some sort of movie and that the stars were watching us in our movie. And so I would turn the
Mm.
lights off before I changed my clothes, which I don't think that's how the movie works. And then when I got old enough that the adults start programming you with their version of reality, and they told me magic wasn't
Yeah.
real, and reality exists so that we can work a job we hate with a partner we don't like anymore, but you stick it
Right.
out anyway to afford a house you don't give a shit about. I remember just feeling
Mm.
gaslit. Like, this isn't it. Like, I had a sensation that there was a veil and that I needed to get behind it, and that's what made me go to Christianity. This is the 90s, so we didn't have the internet. I read any book I could get my hands on, and I was trying to find it. And the first time I did meth, I think I felt reality felt like a movie set. And so I was like, whatever this is the frequency that I'm looking
Right.
for. And I'm not trying to sell meth because nobody
Okay.
else had this experience with it. It worked for me and no one else.
Yeah, that does not remind me of meth reports.
Yeah.
But it's, you don't hear like, oh, you want to do a mystical drug? It's meth.
No.
But it actually, I guess the Nazis were super into the occult, and they were also super into meth. So who knows? Maybe there was some weird connection there or something like that. Did you ever read about that? The Nazis were like meth heads?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's the sleep deprivation, to be honest. That's my theory. I think anything where you're speeding up is an attempt to raise your vibration when you don't really understand how to raise your vibration. But I think the
Yeah.
sleep deprivation, it thins the veil. That's why when you haven't had enough sleep and you're driving, you think you see a deer going by or shadow people or whatever. It's because the veil gets thin. So I
Yeah.
think doing math and being around other people doing math gave me the opportunity in the middle of violence and people picking their face and cops and everything else. It gave me the opportunity to kind of see that reality wasn't what I was being told it was, and being able to kind of play with it with that thinner veil.
I don't want to talk about meth because I think magic is way more interesting, but only because this is I don't think I've had a chance to really chat with someone who has been addicted to meth. What's the face? What is the face picking thing? Like, why? Why that?
So my theory is that when you are on meth, and this is just based on my observation of a lot of people on it, whatever your thing is that you're hiding, because it doesn't work well with your mask. So whatever it is that you're hiding, meth forces you to like show it. So people take things
Whoa.
apart and can't get them back together, are people who, if they were living a normal life, are constantly self-destructing. People who are picking their face have an issue with what they look like, or they feel inauthentic,
Oh.
you know, or they're self-critical is a big one. It kind of depends. There's a lot of different there's a lot of different
Whoa.
genres of face picking. But
Right.
you know, if they're constantly picking at blemishes that aren't there, if you saw them in a life without meth, they would be someone who's very self-critical. Um that was a very interesting part of meth, and why it turns people, it makes them incapable of functioning, is because it does something with your inner programming that you wouldn't deal with otherwise. It kind of pushes it to the forefront, and it like physically manifests.
Wow. So you mean it like crystallizes your subconscious, your repressions, all that stuff? It somehow like it just makes it assume a form around you?
Yeah, it kind of short circuits the avatar, and we do a lot of hiding. You know, we do a lot of
Yeah.
hiding our shadow, of running a PR campaign all day, every day, with the people around us and
Yeah.
ourselves, about what it is that we care about, and what it is that we want. And it kind of makes it to where you can't, that shadow is like in front of you. I don't think most people on meth are thinking, oh, I'm taking this apart because it represents, you know, my tendency to self sabotage things that I think I want that I don't
Yeah.
actually want. But
Whoa.
yeah, it is really interesting being on the inside and watching all of that from a place of something other than ew meth, you know.